Hello, everyone. Today I have the distinct pleasure of speaking with Jena Malone and Pablo Schreiber. They are the stars of Sabrina Doyle's uh, film Lorelei. Fantastic film. Congratulations on you both. Uh, I
Thank you.
enjoyed your performance and your chemistry together. Uh, Really a big fan of the film. You guys want to talk a little bit about your roles?
Sure. Thank you so much, by the way. I play Wayland. I play a convict who's just gotten out of prison after 15 years of institutionalization. And immediately after being released, he meets Dolores, who was his high school sweetheart. And they start the process of trying to figure out how to fit each other back into each other's lives.
Yep. And I play Dolores, who, after Wayland goes to prison, ends up having 3 children with 3 different men and is working part-time as a cleaner, just kind of surviving right there, hovering above poverty, trying to figure out how to be, how to keep joy alive, how to thrive in situations that seem to be, all odds are sort of moderately against you. But it's a really beautiful, I love that story of, anytime 15 years between lovers, coming back together. That takes so much courage and strangeness. And there's so many bumps in that. And like just the fact that that's what the underlying sort of plot of this story is, even though there's a lot of other things that are happening, is just a love story. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, I enjoyed that aspect of it, and especially the part of the fact that you guys are trying to rekindle your love, kind of using the same spark that had happened 15 years before, but then realizing that that's not who you both were anymore, and then how were you guys going to move forward? Your chemistry in that journey, I enjoyed very, very much. How did you both prepare for that? Maybe with each other, getting to know each other a little bit more to be able to convey that on screen.
Sorry, I'm pouring water.
No worries.
What's so interesting is chemistry is one of those things where it's like, how do you get it? No idea. How do you harness it? No idea. How do you, grow it? It's a very ephemeral thing. But I think it all started from when Pablo invited me over for dinner, which I didn't know he lived a 1-minute walk away from the hair and makeup trailer. Because he was staying in this really cool camper of his on set. We were shooting outside of Portland, Pacific Northwest, and was kind of really deep in it. And I was like, okay, yeah, let's have dinner, let's rehearse, let's talk about it. And he's like, oh yeah, I'm living on set out there. And it was just so beautiful. He cooked me a whole meal and we got to really hang out. And it was a fast and furious shoot. So I think that it's hard to find any quiet moment to build vulnerability, but I think that we both really believed in it. So I think that we used every opportunity we could as like a deep dive of get to know and how far can I fall back and when will you catch me? And he just made it feel really safe and really easy. So I'm glad that it translated,
Yeah, it is one of those things that you cannot put your finger on. Jena said ephemeral, and that's exactly it. And so when you go into a circumstance like this and you know that the story is really going to hinge on the chemistry between 2 performers or, their attraction over the years, their history, the only thing you can really do is jump in and hope for the best, and then sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. And the beautiful thing here is that we threw ourselves in and put a bunch of stuff on film, respecting each other and respecting process and trying to get, the best out of each other, and ended up both, I think, watching it and going, oh, cool, that worked. That's nice. And it's certainly nice to have that result rather than the other.
Absolutely. Kudos to you for taking up your trailer and helping out. Sabrina was raving about the fact that you were able to do that and to save the film a little bit of money.
Well, it wasn't exactly a selfless exercise. I bought myself a Patriot camper. It's an Australian-made, like really amazing, high
super fancy. It's awesome.
I love it. And I had to pick it up in Oklahoma, which is the only place in America where they sell them. And so I took my 9-year-old, who was 6 at the time, picked up the trailer and drove from Oklahoma up to Oregon, and then put them
Okay.
there. And so it was this great grand adventure road trip that ended up, a test of a new toy. And I got to set it up right on set and not have a commute in the morning. So it was all fun for me. What I didn't account for was the Pacific Northwest rain. It rained about like 20 days out of a 28-day shoot or something like that. So that was definitely a test.
You kind of had like a makeshift tarp or something. I remember you had to there were stories of flooding every hair and makeup trailer. I remember.
Yeah, lots of extra.
Very, very nice. I can't let you guys go without talking a little bit about some of your co-stars. The kids that played, well, Jena, your kids in the film. And I've heard that for some of them, it was a first time on a film. And the way that you guys were very instrumental in helping them in the film process. Can you talk about your co-stars and your experience in working with them?
Yeah, I mean, Chancellor, Amelia, Parker, they all had very unique things that they were bringing and were very early in their acting journeys. I think maybe Chancellor had a few little things, and I don't know. I mean, I love the sort of like the truth light that having child actors on set demands, because it sort of demands everyone around you to kind of become your best self, right? You want to be the best leader, you want to demonstrate, you want to show by doing, you want to have them to have good examples to learn from. And then also it brings out a nurturing thing of like you wanting to protect them and help them understand their process and wanting to sort of meet them at their level. So I find it to be a really cool working environment. I'm always happy when there's kids on set because I just think it demands the best and the most thorough out of other actors,
Pablo, you had my favorite scene in the film, which I do not want to talk too much about it because I want everybody to experience it the way I did. You and Chancellor had a very, very intimate scene where you're coming to the realization that maybe that's not what you want, but he gets physical, and I think that it was a very powerful moment. And I talked with Sabrina about it and how you gave 110% in it. And then that way he was able to kind of feed off that energy and reciprocate the same.
There was so many moments like that in the movie, and Jena had a number of them. The biggest one being the scene with Amelia, where she throws the grandma's vase, and so we each were dealing with a number of moments with the kids where they were having to access very complex emotions that could be scary or hard to access, and so each of us had to kind of attempt to walk the kids through them in the best way possible, create enough space for them to feel safe, create enough space for them to be able to express themselves as fully as possible. And that particular moment was, we shot it in Sacramento outside the dive bar. And just tried as much as possible to create a space where he could feel comfortable to let himself free, and to express emotion and not feel judged and get it out. So that's what we ended up with.
Pablo, Jena, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate being able to talk to you, especially after experiencing such a well-rounded, grounded story that I think a lot of people can relate to one way or another.
Thank you so much for your time, and thanks for getting the word out.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Hope you guys have a good one.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.